May the peace and joy and the grace of the Lord be with you all. Brothers and sisters, I am so happy always to share with you my testimony, because I tell you, the hand of the Lord has always been with me, and He is still here with me, protecting me, and not only me alone, and my children as well. So I am so happy and filled with the joy and the peace of the Lord. And so that you may know that our God is alive, He will always protect you, even when the enemy has set the trap for you or your children. Our God will protect you and protect your children. So I am encouraging you, trust in Him with your heart and your soul, for He is alive. He can see all things that we cannot see. Trust in Him just as I am. He will never fail you, because He is God, our Creator. He is able to do all things and to change your life. And this afternoon, I would like to share with you my testimony, and so do the new testimony that happens 5 days ago. And I am happy to share with you all. And just as I've been sharing my testimony about my operation, indeed, it did reminded me back to 1996, when my mother was in her dying bed. But you see, God did use me. I was there for her. I stood by her. I was a young girl. But I tell you, with God, it does not matter how young or little you are. He will always guide you and strengthen you, even in a difficult time, just as He was there with me. You see, I will start with 5 days ago. I cooked chicken, as you all know, the drumstick. And so I gave it to my 7-month-old to play with it as we were having our lunch. And so my baby wanted to sleep after that. I breastfed him, and he ate so well. And I went to bed with him, but I left him to sleep. And so you see, when he woke up, I went back to pick him up. And he opened his mouth, and something came out through his mouth and fell into my hand. And it pricked me. It was very sharp. And so I needed to know what came out from his mouth. And you know, I looked down on my lap and I saw something resting on my lap. And I picked it up, and it was this piece of bone. You can see, chicken bone. And so as I picked it up, I remembered that I gave him chicken bone to eat. And so he had this bone. He breastfed with it, and he went and slept and he never swallowed it, and something threw it out and made sure that I saw what came out. You see, God is great. He saved my little boy. So he is wonderful. Don't give up on him. He's mighty. So I will read for you today Ephesians as I give my thanks to our Lord for saving my little boy and for saving me as well all these years. It says, "And give thanks for everything to God the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ." So you see, in 1996, when my mom was very sick, she wasn't alone. She had a little baby, and that was my little brother. And as she was very sick, she could not bath herself. She could not get her from the bed. My mom was in a critical condition. My father had 2 wives, and so he moved to live with his wife. And so do my other siblings. The elder sister, the one I came after, everybody moved in the house of my stepmom. And so I was left in the house alone with my mom and a little baby. So as young as I was, at the age of 11, I looked after my mom. I washed her clothes. I cooked. I fed her. I bathed her. And I looked after the little baby as well. It was difficult. I never knew that it was God encouraging me, giving me all the strength I needed. And you see, what used to happen at night was every time my mom gets really sick at night, I would come outside. Sometimes I would be carrying the baby in my hand. As Africa, how dark it can be at night, I was scared, frightened to go outside, but I had to. So I would come out, run. Luckily enough, my stepmother's house, they were both living in the same compound, but a bit away from each other. Just not the same compound. Yes. So as I come outside to run to knock the door, to call my dad to come, I would be shaking. But something was with me that time, because I was so strong as a little girl, looking after 2 people at the same time. I used to be miserable at the same time. I would ask my elder sister to help me, but they would not. I never understood why. But I tell you, all the blessings that I have now, it is because I stood by my mom as well. I was there when he needed me. So what happened? I stayed with her. I did all these things until the end. One day, I was sitting outside carrying the little baby. I thought the baby was sleeping. until my mom's friend came to check on her and so said, let me help you with the baby. The whole village knew what I was going through, but there was nothing they could do to help me. And as this lady came to help me with the baby was already dead in my hand at the age of 11. And so she went inside and went to my dad and asked me to go and play. And I saw my dad coming inside, and other people started coming. And then they told me the baby had died already in my hand. And so I'm giving God all the thanks for giving me that strength, that time, to be there for my mom and the little baby. And you see, God did not want me to experience my mom, to see my mom dying. So the night she died, I refused to go sleep there. And I remember telling my dad that even if you want to kick me out, do so. And so I refused. And in the morning, I remember waking up like around 12, and no one woke me up. I slept in another house. And so when I woke up, I found people at home. I had my siblings crying. And so I asked, what happened? And so they said, my mama's passed on. And you see, God did not wanted me to watch my mom die at that age. But I remember my mom gave me money that day she died at night. And I want you to, whatever you do, always remember, stand by your parents. God will be with you. And I want to give thanks and praise. And I want to encourage you. Trust in God. He will not let you down. He will never fail you. He is the true God and is alive today and tomorrow and forever. May the grace and peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Remember, I love you all too. Thank you. Remember to subscribe, share, and like. Thank you.